Today I want to share with you my happiness, my extreme happiness. I received a lot of books as a gift from my husband. They all came from Ukraine and they're all in Ukrainian language, but I will tell you what are those books. I'm so excited they're here. When I just received them, I was so excited. I was hugging them. This is something unbelievable. I like books. I love books. This is all them. Can you imagine? I don't know. I will not be able to hold it like that, but I will be showing you one by one probably. Look. This is all books. Something fall down already. You know what fall down? This book. This is Stephen King, Under the Dome. I already made few videos about this book and about TV series. Just some shorts I made that I was starting to read it, but I started to read on my iPad, but I decided that I really need it in paper. Here it's more than 1,000 pages. And I love Stephen King. I have a lot of his books, and when I was living in Ukraine, I was going always to the library and I was taking all his books and reading them in my native language, and I'm so excited to have them now. It's a real treasure in my book collection. If someone doesn't know what is this book about, it's just like a story of a small town. I like those stories when everything is happening in small space, like on the spaceship or some small town. By the way, did you watch the TV series Persons Unknown? Not a lot of people watched this TV series. I don't know. I'm trying to discuss that TV series with someone, but nobody watched it. Except me, I mean in my circle, of course. And this is also the story about the small town, and just in one moment, the big glass dome, it's not a spoiler because you can read even here somewhere probably about it. This dome, glass transparent dome, is covering the whole city with all people inside. And now they have their own country, their own universe, their own planet, because they don't have any connection with the outside world, and outside world cannot connect with them also. And we can see how people will show themselves in this closed space. It will highlight their good and bad sides, and of course it's very interesting story, and a lot of unpredictable moments. And I'm talking about actually TV series now. And as far as I started already to read this book, I know that there are a lot of differences from the TV series, and I'm very excited about it because it will be like a new story, and I want to find out what will be there, like what will be the differences. I know that even the characters are different. There are some more characters in the book than in the TV series, so I'm very excited to read it. Next two books, it's books written by Ukrainian writer Geo Shkurupii. I didn't read them before and I want to read them in the nearest future, and after that I will make a video about this writer and about his works also, because I want to introduce Ukrainian literature to the world. I like to read a lot, and Ukrainian literature and other nations' literature also. I want you to know about Ukrainian writers also. Here I have two books. They are not very big, so hopefully this video will be soon. Next book I have here also, it's Ukrainian writer. This is a woman, Lyudmila Starytska-Chernyakhivska. I've never read anything about it, and I'm very happy to have this book now. I want to know more about Ukrainian writers, about their destinies, about their lives, about their works. And when I will read this book, I will research also her biography, and I will make a video about her also. Next one, it's also Ukrainian literature, and I was very happy to get this book. This is some small works of Ukrainian writers. All of them in this book are women. So here we have Marko Vovchok, Olena Pchilka, Natalya Kobrynska, Ulyana Kravchenko, Olga Kobylyanska, Lyudmila Starytska-Chernyakhivska. This is also Lyudmila Starytska-Chernyakhivska. Lesya Ukrainka. I think a lot of people know Lesya Ukrainka from the rest of the world, right? Sofia Yablonska, Iryna Vilde, Natalya Romanovych-Tkachenko, Lyudmila Taran, and Oksana Zabuzhko. Oksana Zabuzhko is very famous in the world also. I like this kind of books because it's a lot of authors and you can open somewhere and just read one small text from one person and just have this small journey to the life of the writer, because all texts of all writers, this is like for me the whole universe which one writer is making with their works. I will introduce to you also some works of these Ukrainian writers. The next book is Thomas Mann, Buddenbrookes. You know, I'm sure you know Thomas Mann, the German writer, and he received Nobel Prize for this book. And with all my love to classic literature, somehow I missed this book, so I didn't read it when I was teenager. I think all classic literature I've read, I was thinking that I've read during my teenage years all classic literature from the whole world, really, but not this book. So I'm very happy when I've heard about it and I saw it in the bookshop. I understood that I wanted it. And I was making a lot of shorts about Nobel Prize, so it will be a very interesting journey to Thomas Mann world, and I'm sure I will make some shorts about it. And long form video, by the way, also. I should do more videos. I had another channel, by the way, about literature, but I closed it, and I had there very long videos about books. Probably I should start to do it here also, because I like to talk about books more than about anything else. This poetry written by Vasyl Stus. He's a Ukrainian writer, and he's very famous not just by his works, by his life. I think he gave his life for his country, he gave his life for Ukraine, and really, he really deserves more attention, more international attention. So now I received this book, and I am really inspired to make the video about this writer, because he is very strong character, very inspiring character. Next one, this is very big book, and this is Max Kidruk, Colony. I'm sure this book will be translated into English. This is, by the way, the first one, as the writer is telling us that this is just the first one, and we will have the whole series, and this is something unbelievable. This is the book about life on Mars. This is one of my favorite plots, together with some apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic stories, and also living in some small space. I wanted this book so much. When it just was published, it was sold very fast. I was waiting, by the way, for it to be published so long. Like, I don't know, when I heard about this book, that it's in the process of writing, I knew that I want it. I really want to read it. So we have here almost 900 pages, and the name is Colony, so you understand that the world will be built on Mars, and it will be the human society, and we will see how this society will have the new chance of building itself on the new planet, and probably we will understand that we will be making the same mistakes as we are making here. Here we have also like some kind of maps, and this is like a colony. I'm very curious how this world will be built, how the whole infrastructure will be built, how some technical things will be solved on this planet. It's so interesting for me always. I like these details in literature. I like these small things. Maybe people will be worried with them, but no, for me this is the real treasure. My friend actually, she met with the writer. He was making lecture about his book, this book, and he promised that there are a lot of technical facts in this book. Yes, by the way, this is Ukrainian writer. I don't know I mentioned it or no. He is very famous in Ukraine and he published a lot of books, and this is the first story in the series, and we don't know how many of them it will be. Of course, I was talking and nothing was recorded about this book. So this book, look at this, it's so cute book. Look, it's everything is happening in the village. I know that this is the book about the girl who bought the house in the village and she started to live there, and it should be very light story, and I want this story for the moments when I want just to relax. I want some cozy story because I also want to have a house in the village. I want to live in the village or somewhere in the forest. I want this connection with nature because since my childhood I was always connected to the nature, and this is the best thing for me. So the name of the book is Villa in San Fursisco, written by Yaroslava Lytvyn. It's Ukrainian writer. Why I was so attracted also to this book, because this name San Fursisco, actually it's not existing, it's just like funny made up name, but I hope that San Fursisco is made from Fursi, because we have a village next to my town where I was born and where I was living. So that village next to my town is called Fursi, and I really hope that it will be there. I hope she bought the house there because it's so nice memories for me, and the parents of my close friends still living there, and I was visiting them before, and it was so nice time, so nice memories, and it's so nice place, and I want to touch this homeland, and I want this cozy time, and I hope it will be like I am imagining. Next book, it's by Ukrainian writer Valerian Pidmohylny, and here there are a few his works also, and he's very famous in Ukraine, and I want to read this book. It's really like a target for me. I want to make video about this writer. Next one, Ivan Bagryany, Sad Gethsemansky and Tigrolowy. Ivan Bagryany, I think some people really heard about him from other countries because he's really very famous. For me, his books are documents of Ukrainian history, actually. And even here, it's mentioned that all family names in this book are correct, are from real life. Actually, this first work, Sad Gethsemansky, I can say the tragedy of my teenage years, because when I read this book, till now, I cannot forget it. Now I want, of course, to reread it, to refresh details, to refresh the storyline, to dig deeper, because it's really documents. It's not something just made up. The world is not just built up. It's real history of Ukraine. It was really scary for me, and this terrifying feeling still living with me during all these years when I'm recalling memories about it in my mind. And I want to reread, to rethink it, because with the years we're able to process all books from different angles. Next book, Дім для дома, Victoria Amelina. Victoria Amelina is Ukrainian writer. This is her picture, and this is very cute book. It's supposed to be. I will read it, of course, and I will make hopefully video about it also. This is the book where the main character is a dog, and he is telling the story about his life. So it's making it very cute, but at the same time the questions, very serious questions, will be raised in this book also. Unfortunately, this writer, she was killed during missile attack on Ukraine in July 2023. Next one, everybody knows about this book. Everybody. There is no person in the world who never heard about James Joyce and his Ulysses. I was reading it on my iPad, but I understood that this is the book which I should read in print. So it was not comfortable at all for me to just go and check all this additional information. So I know that for me, I'm very old school in reading books. I like printed books. I prefer printed books, but I don't have always access to them in my native language. And now I'm making my small library in Ukrainian language here, and I'm very happy to see when Ukrainian people are making their home libraries, or they are opening bookshops in different countries with Ukrainian books, with books in Ukrainian language, or books written by Ukrainian writers. I'm very happy and very inspired when I see this. Since my childhood, I always had a lot of books in my parents' house, and now I feel I want to have such big library, and I have a lot of books in English language. I have some books in Ukrainian language, and I'm trying to make my library bigger and bigger, because this is the real treasure. I don't have the same level of excitement about any other material things except books. The last one, this is Sarah Geo. This is All Flowers of Paris, and I think I've read all books written by Sarah Geo, and this is also books of cozy moments when, like, you cannot read or process at this moment, at this hour, any other bad news. You are taking such kind of books and just hoping that it will hug your mind. I like how Sarah Geo usually is building up the stories, always the connection between the present and the past. And here also the story when the main character, she's waking up in the hospital and she doesn't remember anything, and she's trying to recall her memories. So I know that it will be good. It's always good for me. This is the story which is calming down, not taking any power. I would call it, it's like fairy tale before sleep for adults. So this is all addition to my Ukrainian library here, library in Ukrainian language, and I'm very, very happy. I will hug now them again and again, because this is real treasure. And I really hope that I will tell you about some Ukrainian writers also in the next videos.